Hey everybody, so I've been planning on doing a video. Hopefully I'll just get to it. I'm just gonna do it because I never have time. I'm sure you all know what that's like, not having time for anything, and I'm sure you guys know it more than I do. I haven't actually, I'm a stay-at-home mom, if you guys didn't know, but I do homeschool, so I don't just, do nothing. I had some jobs here and there on my own, but anyway, so I don't have time, and I'm sure you guys who are working mothers have less time than me. But anyway, I wanted to just have a little chat today because now I'm motivated to do a little video today. Just a little chat kind though. I want to say something. If you guys ever want to comment on my videos, which I know most of the time most of you guys don't comment much, but if you were to say something to where you said that, you disagreed with me, you believe different than me, whatever, I'm surely going to say something or do a video in response if I have time, but I would hopefully have time to respond to you in some way. But I would never insult you guys. I just want to let you guys know that. I wouldn't insult you if you believe differently than me. If you were to insult me, I might just block you or I might just leave it. But I'm never going to insult somebody. And I want you guys to know that you can feel comfortable to say you disagree with me, and I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to be mean to you. And I say that because today on Facebook, I have a friend and her mate. They're not married. Anyway, and her mate a long time ago came at me for something. And it was not like a Messianic Jewish, how I believe. You guys know what I believe about Christmas and Easter and all that stuff. But it wasn't, I don't remember what it was about, but I don't think it was about something like that. But in any case, they have a Bible channel, so I'm not just coming up on their page and saying stuff. They've started a Bible page. They started this Bible page. They don't have many people running to it, but that doesn't matter. One person is important. Right? Just like me, I might have just 3 subscribers, but that's important. Just one person's important. It doesn't matter how many. But anyway, I'm just saying because so they don't get a lot of comments and whatever yet. But I commented today because they were talking about how they're going to be doing how they're focusing on love because it's February, the month of Valentine's, and because it's Valentine's month, they're focusing on love. And so I just told them that Valentine's is pagan. I'm not against you guys necessarily doing nice things for each other because of Valentine's Day. I'm just saying it shouldn't be part of a church thing. Like, why are we going to, and I'm going to tell you guys, this should be all the time. And I know you guys hear that, you want a special day, okay. But the thing is in relation to church. And I said that we're always pointing our finger out, like I always tell you guys. We're always pointing our fingers at the sinners, and we should point out what sin is, and we should recognize what's going on in our country and in the world right now, and we should be able to discuss the sinful nature of things. But we should also be willing to point the finger inward at the church. And so I said that it is a pagan holiday. It does, like the little Cupid. Don't go getting Cupid candies. If you're going to do Valentine's, but don't go getting any Cupid candies. Look up who Cupid was. Jesus would not be sitting there, oh, yum, yum, so cute. Cupid. No, because God knows who Cupid was. He doesn't think Cupid is cute, Anyway, and so I said, well, we shouldn't need Valentine's Day to motivate us in the church to discuss why Jesus is love. Or we shouldn't need, they said that they have a big banquet on the 10th, but it's not the 14th, it's the 10th, so it's okay. And I said, well, and they said, just as long as everybody gathers together, God says, all believers, we should gather together, not forsake the gathering together. That's all true. But we should not need Valentine's Day to motivate us to have dinners together in a church. A church should, all the churches that I had gone to, I have reasons why I don't go anymore, we can discuss that if you guys want to. But anyway. But that churches tend to have eat and greets after church or in between services, like the Lutherans and many Methodists, and I don't know about all the others. I know the Catholics now too, you know, they have the old style and then they have the new style, you know, as far as music and how they do church, you know. You have the old style, you go by a certain order of things. And then the new style, they're more loose and casual, but they still have the same, the pastor still preaches the same message, just in a different way. Anyway, so normally they have, you know, eat and greets in between anyway. And often churches will have special eat meetings, you know, eat gatherings, you know, over food and music, whatever. But anyway, I was just saying we shouldn't need Valentine's Day or do it in the name of Valentine's, you know. And they're like, oh, well, it's the 10th, so it's not Valentine's. But on the post, they just said that it's Valentine's that they're observing in the church. As far as the Sunday school, well, is Valentine's, so we're focusing on messages of love. Then somebody came on, not the woman who posts, you know, not my friend who posts, who may not be a friend anymore. Well, whatever. Her husband is something else. Well, not husband, like I said, they're not married. And anyway, but they said that they are doing this big shindig on the 10th, and it's not the 14th, so it's not Valentine's Day. It's not a Valentine's. I'm like, yeah, you guys are the 10th, 14th, 4 days off. Yes, it's motivated because of Valentine's. I just said that it's not a holiday. It's not a holy day. Holiday is short for holy day. It's not one of the holy days of God. And it doesn't have anything to do with Jesus. Yes, love has to do with Jesus, but Valentine's Day doesn't. They are two separate things. And Valentine's, if people are going to celebrate Valentine's, it should be outside the church. But it shouldn't be like a religious ceremony or a religious gathering or anything to do with the church. The church should be doing, you know, God is love. And God said that the most important command is to love one another, you know. And he said that that's the greatest commandment. That doesn't have a day attached to it. That's all the time. So churches should be having gatherings, whether it's Valentine's Day or not Valentine's Day, but it shouldn't be because, oh, now it's the month of Valentine's, so 10 days before the 14th, we're having a celebration of God's love. I just hate it when people want to, you know, dance around the subject, but the thing that made me irritated and actually mad is to say baby Christian. If I were ever to tell you guys, well, you know, you're a new believer, and that's called a baby Christian, it would never be derogatory. And I just want to let you guys know that. If you guys are new to the faith, you come to my channel, you have questions, or if you are not new to the faith and you believe different than me, whatever, I would never call you a baby Christian derogatively or anything else. I would never insult you because you see things differently than I do. I might stick to my guns and say, well, this is what I believe and this is why, you know, but I wouldn't want to insult you. And I want to say that that's what throws people away from church. That's what pushes people out of church. And as far as this man goes who's insulting me, and, you know, he and his wife have talked about how they want to be pastors, and, you know, my friend's happy about teaching Sunday school, which is nice, you know, and it's nice that they want to feel motivated to teach about God, you know, but to call me a baby Christian, I've been a Christian all my life. I'm almost 45. I'm not a baby Christian just because I believe differently. And just because I'll say what I believe. It hits my news feed, I'm going to talk about my beliefs. I'm going to say something, you know, because I don't know why, but that's the way I am. Obviously, I have a Bible channel of my own, so you guys know that I'm outspoken, you know. But I just want to say that you should never call somebody something derogatively. When you're talking about God, don't throw insults, because that just pushes people away from church. And it pushes people away from God, too, because so many people say, oh, well, Christians are so mean and nasty. They can be very mean and nasty. That is the truth. Well, people who call themselves Christians, that's a whole nother subject. But Christians, too, we are imperfect. That is true. We are imperfect. We are not perfect. And we have to remember that we are always, if we are talking about God, and especially if, like me, I have a Bible channel, they have their Facebook thing going. and they post Bible verses and they'll say some things, and you put yourself out in the limelight even more, then you all the more need to be careful how you approach subjects with people, how you approach people who, like me, have big mouths, and, you know, say, hey, well, I don't believe that this belongs in church. Handle it in an adult fashion, but not a rude adult fashion, you know? Don't be rude. Don't be throwing insults. Baby Christian. Ugh, so nasty. That's what pushes people out of church. And the fact that he wants to put himself in, he's been like this for a couple of years now, putting himself in this position of being a pastor, a guider. Like me, I don't really consider myself a pastor, by the way, just to let you guys know. Just a Christian who talks about God. And I do want people to understand God better, which is why I do my channel, and also to get, like I told you guys, so you can have somewhere to go to hear somebody say something that you believe, just so you feel you have some camaraderie, you know? We all need that. But, you know, he was an alcoholic up until a couple years ago, and it's great that he's not, and so now he wants to talk about God. But, you know, and some other things in their relationship and stuff, you know, that didn't paint him in a good light until the last couple years, you know, as far as some things that she's told me. And obviously none of us are going to be painted in a great light. But to call me a baby Christian is the thing, when I know that they're newly going to church and stuff for the last couple years, when I tried to encourage her before. And, you know, for someone to call someone else a baby Christian when it seems like, you know, who knows his whole life? I don't know his whole life, if he was brought up in church and then fell away or whatever. But I do know that he had an alcohol history. So to insult me, and I know what I know about him, you know, that just makes me even more aggravated, you know. But I just want to let you guys know, you can come to my channel, and I want to tell you guys, don't insult people just because, you know, and try not to fall into that trap where you get so mad or aggravated or whatever that then all of a sudden you say something derogatory, because it doesn't help your argument and it just makes you look like the bad one, you know. So be careful not to fall into that trap of getting so mad that you insult somebody. And like I said, because it can push people away from the church, it can push people away from God. So be careful with that. That's all I want to say for today. And now I have somewhere to get to, because I am, you know, over here waiting for an appointment for my daughter. So, all right, that's why I took the moment while I had the moment to have a little chat. So yeah, just be careful, you know, not to fall into the trap of insulting people, because it's just not good, you know, and it just makes people mad, and it doesn't help. You're not going to win anybody to, you know, to your point of view by saying, you know, things like, oh, baby Christian at the end, like derogatory. If you're a baby Christian, that's great. You know, that's not something that should be used as a derogatory term in any way. It should never be thrown at somebody saying, well, you're a baby Christian, so you don't know. You could say, well, you're new to the faith, you know, or, you know, there are things that I've learned that maybe you haven't. There's a tactful way of doing it, which, by the way, that wouldn't work for me, because, like I said, I mean, I've been brought up in the church since I was a baby, and I've always believed. I have had my mistakes and my moments of error also, you know, moments of weakness, and, you know, being on my own and not having support leading me to make my mistakes, you know. So I'm not going to say that I've always been a perfect person, because you know, but I am going to say that I am a mature Christian, and my error was when I was young, and when I was on my own, and when I didn't have the support I needed. And that's when people make mistakes too. The worst mistakes people make, it's not always because they don't have the support they need, but that is a factor for some. And anyway, so keep that in mind too, you know. Anyway, well, I gotta get going, everybody, but I'm gonna see if I can get to doing my little study, because I was on a homeschool page, and someone had said something about a passage, and that passage isn't about that, and it's about the seeds. I could actually go into a discussion about that, but this video is already 14 minutes, so I'm going to make that a different video. But I want to actually read some of it, you know, then we can discuss that. But anywho's it's thank you guys for listening to me ramble, because you know I'll sit here and ramble sometimes at you. But feel free to comment, Feel free to say whatever you want to say. I know some people don't want to comment on channels like this because they don't want to be caught up in, you know, religious debate. And that's completely understandable. But I just want to let you guys know I'm never going to insult you because you say you believe differently than me. Just don't insult me either, you know. Let's keep it nice. But anyway, well, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.